Okay, here we go. It's that time of the week. It's Sunday night, and we got to talk about the Monday market report for the week ending October 29, 2023. I'm so excited to talk about this one this week because all of a sudden, all of the Lincoln Cent enthusiasts have come out to play. There were a lot of coins that finished well above the four-figure mark. A lot of $3,000 to $7,000 coins. It has to be one of the records that I've seen, since a big show on like Heritage Auctions or somewhere like that, where we've seen just a high volume of coins hit this particular level. A lot of records were achieved. This was one of them. So we're going to talk about all of the most important, the most relevant graded post-1900 modern coins to have finished the week off strong. And boy, do we have a list. So all of the activity coming in the way of GreatCollections.com, who has been one of the most tried and true. They are probably on top today as far as the medium to high-end world of graded coins. They have certainly placed their footprint very firmly in the sand. Well, probably concrete as well, because they're just insane right now. But make no mistake about it, they are the go-to source for people that want to buy some really nice coins. And they're also one of the biggest outlets for consignment as well. So, we're going to go ahead and check things out. Again, all the coins graded by some of the top grading companies in the game, PCGS, NGC, you know it. And this particular report does nothing but provide market insight, right? We are firmly into the holiday season here. Halloween is just a few short days away. I'd say that pretty much qualifies as the cusp of the holiday season, where we knew the coin market at its deepest, highest level was going to perform like this. But in our wildest dreams, would we have imagined it to hit this level? I don't know. I feel like I'd say I'd seen everything, but no, I haven't. All right, obviously. So we're going to take a trip down this lane of just crazy coins. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Plus, I'm also on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all those great, kind of like outside, third, fourth, fifth tier social media sites. So if you're a fan of those, go ahead, check it out. Throw me a like, follow, whatever you want to do. Okay, let's jump right in because we have quite the list today. We're going to take things not quite so slow. We have a 1995 Lincoln Memorial Cent. You see what it says there on the slab label? It says the doubled die obverse. Mid-State 69 red by PCGS. My goodness, what a big coin. Of course, this particular double die is no stranger to any of us, right? This is the one that even people had talked about on the news back in 1995. Find this, they're worth $200, $300. Now, they're not quite worth that much money today if they were raw in hand. Obviously, where you're going to capture a lot of the money is going to be in these premium grades, all right? It's not 66, it's not 67. 68's okay, but you got to hit that 69, which this one obviously did. And it sold for $2,661.75. What a beauty. And take a look at the doubling on Liberty and the motto, "In God We Trust," and you'll know exactly what this one's all about. Again, everybody knows about this one, and so should you. Here's another big one here. I'm telling you guys, varieties are waking up in the scene, especially a lot of the Red Book and Cherry Picker's Guide varieties. There's been just an emergence of these coins that have hit the market at all grade levels. And they all seem to be going up each and every single year. Here's another one here that during the pandemic just made a meteoric rise to the top. 1983, Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is, of course, the vaunted doubled die reverse. Man, this thing is awesome. I believe they call it the FS 801, right? Because it's a well-known Cherry Pickers Guy variety. But when you look at this coin and you look at the reverse, it's got to be one of the top 5 doubled die reverse coins that you could find today. Now, this particular one right here ended up graded as a Mint State 68 red. That is an incredibly relevant grade. It's right up there to where it should be as far as the top pop coin should be. This coin will appeal to both registry sets that participate in a collective of also varieties and proof coins and things like that. All right, it's a very, very much a piece of the completionists Lincoln Cent registry. Also, variety folks that want this type of coin, they will take it. This one right here is sold for $7,155, and if you had told me, hey, there's a 1980s Lincoln Cent that sold for over $7,000 a long time ago, even before I could have understood grading, before I could have understood registry sets, which is a thing for about the last, I would say, 15 years, you would think it's crazy. But no, right here, $7,155. The next one that we have here, obviously, an auto include, although I don't put it in every week. It really has to be phenomenal. All right, we have this one here, 1955, double the die obverse Lincoln Wheat Cent. Quite the stunner. NGC tabbed this one as a Mint State 65 red back in the day. When I say back in the day, this is an older holder, probably from the early 2000s. It was probably a little bit more red than what you see here. Coins, especially Lincoln Cents, copper, early copper, they oxidize really quickly. And if they were already in the process of oxidizing in that process, even in a holder, it's not going to completely, protect it from further oxidation. This is just something natural that occurs with copper. Now, this particular coin right here ended up selling for $21,937.50. We all knew that this was a very expensive, very valuable coin. And I would say if you could grab a hold of one of these, you would be doing yourself a huge favor in your investment portfolio. I traditionally don't talk about investments, but this is one numismatically that deserves a spot in any portfolio. I would say if you got the cash, I would grab one, probably an AU level. That's kind of like my speed, $2,000, $2,500. This one is just a monster. Now, we do have a selection of registry set coins, and that's all they are. So if you're thinking about buying any of these from a true investment potential kind of area, I would say don't. These are made for those registry sets. Those guys have just an absorbent amount of money. They got the deepest pockets in the world. Usually when you stick your hand in your pocket, you come to an actual, bottom. Their pockets go all the way down to their toes. That's how deep they are. So this one right here, Mint State 67 plus full red, is undoubtedly the top grade of this type of coin. It's also even CAC green bean as well. So that adds an extra amount of kind of protection on top of what this grade is. It's perfect for the eye appeal of a 67 plus, and as a result, this one ended up selling for $2,086.88 tonight. And here's the 51S. This thing is just marvelous. It's very silky looking. I think that's the name that I want to use for this. It's silky. The fields are just really clean. What a great looking piece. NGC this time graded this a Mint State 68 red. I think it looks the part. And it sold for $2,930.62. That is a beauty right there. Now here's one that I'm sure a lot of folks don't pay attention to. This one has escaped many Lincoln Cent hunters out there. Now there's a few relatively well-known varieties, right? The RPM on the Denver Steely, the 1943 FS101, the Philadelphia coin. But some of you probably aren't aware of the fact that there is an overdate a 1943 over 2, but only on these San Francisco coins. Kind of hard to dictate on here. It's also the FS 101. That's the designation on this from the Cherry Picker's Guide. You can see some of the doubling on the date. This thing's kind of crazy, Probably because Halloween's just around the corner. This one certainly fits the bill as being very ghostly looking as far as the date and the doubling goes. So Mint State 68, pretty nice here. The only thing missing is a CAC sticker. Not particularly sure if the owner or Great Collections even attempted to submit this to CAC, just to kind of see, if it would, earn that sticker. Not sure. But how about $7,087.50? I would imagine a CAC sticker would easily put this one over 5 figures. So it might be something that the new owner could possibly do. That is not a scratch, by the way, on the coin, on the reverse. That is actually a scratch on the slab. All right, so just wanted to let you guys know that. Here's a 1941. Again, where we are on it with varieties. This is a really cool one. You got your strongest doubling on Liberty and the date on this one. I believe this is the FS 101. Doubled die obverse. It's a PCGS Mint State 66 plus red. I will assume that it is a top grade because I have never seen a 67 of the FS 101 for this state. Now the two well-known 41 doubled dies. Now we're talking Cherry Picker's Guide types. All right, there's a 101 and a 102. They're both phenomenal in their own right. These two particular doubled dies are incredibly rare in mid-state condition, whether it's brown, red brown, or even this sucker right here in a full red. And because of that, these tend to go up to these price levels that are borderline godly. This one right here, $6,468.75 was the final hammer price. And I would say that there's so few of these that this price tag can go up in the future if, say, this coin ends up back in the market 5 to 10 years from now. Because the coin game, the hobby itself, is getting younger. It's getting more, there's more money being injected into it. I am going to, in my crystal ball that I call my brain, assume that in 10 years that these coins will be worth a substantial amount more money. 1929. Now this one right here is all registry set all day long. It's a Mint State 67 plus full red. You don't see coins quite this pretty coming from the 20s. As a matter of fact, it's the decade where a lot of coins traditionally were worked over. It's a workhorse decade. A lot of these had made its way through the circulation system. They were beat up. Nobody really cared about them. Nobody cared to save these in full Mint State red. This one, 67 plus, even got the CAC sticker. That is, to me, that's nutty. How about $6,018.75? I'm telling you guys, I could have done a whole report with like 25, 30 Lincoln cents that all fall in this kind of $3,000 to $7,000 range. That's how busy it was for it not being like a mainline registry set that broke apart, or that person quit. These are all just kind of like random consignments, just super amazing type pieces. Lots of Lincoln Cent basic pieces to a registry set. And then also this one, 21S. Now, it doesn't look like a whole lot to kind of enjoy here. Again, we're talking about the 20s, right? The quality just really wasn't there. It's not a pride or a craftsmanship thing. It was just, everything from the 20s was pretty bad, all right? Mint State 65 red is what we're looking at here. Now, it doesn't even look red, I'll say that, but I'm willing to bet at one point, because this is an OGH, it's an original green holder, probably from the 90s, so it's coming up on 30 years old, being in this plastic holder. Probably at one point was a very pretty red, and obviously the oxidation process over time kind of gave it this look that you see here today. $11,000 $813.62 on this one. Today, this one would probably be a red-brown, you know. I'm sure in hand there's quite a fair amount of mint state red in the protected areas. $11,000. I mean, shoot. If you come across one of these that's raw and you know it's legit, then wow, that's one heck of a payday if you're able to turn it the same way that this person did, you know, for this kind of money. All right, tough act to follow. We do have nickels. We have actually a few very nice nickels. 1979D is not at all a sexy date. Of course, it's a registry set coin. It's not a 67. Yes, I know. This is kind of like one of those place marker types, a tier 2. Got a little bit of funky brown toning on the reverse. Not my personal favorite, but we do have to address this one because there is a need for these newer, you know, kind of like ultra modern dates. 66 plus full steps on it, and you know, it does have quite the strike, and most of them do for a Denver 79. $2,694.38. That seems like quite the price tag on just a 66 plus. But also at the same time, you know, the population of a 67 of this coin might be like 1 or 2. I don't know. So, yeah. You know, it's quite the marvel to see one of these on here. Here's a 1950D. What if I told you that this one in a 67 plus full steps with toning sold for quite a bit less than that coin we just talked about, the 79D? You'd think I'd be crazy because this is a key date. And the steps look the part on this one. This one really does look like full steps. $1,800. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Let you guys chew on that one a bit. Here's a 1943 over 2. Wow, it's the same date as the steel cent that we looked at and the same type of over date. 43 over 2 is a top 5 variety in the Jefferson Nickel series. This one is a big collector piece in a Mid-State 66 full stepper. And I'm happy to say that this one ended up selling for $2,193.75. Although it's not a top grade, it is one of the top varieties going right now. And I believe this is the last Jefferson nickel. We have a 41D here with some toning on both sides. It's quite attractive and very clean. Mid-State 68 full steps by PCGS. I'm willing to bet that if you looked at true views of this coin, which do exist because it's a gold shield, the colors will just kind of flash off there like a kaleidoscope. Very nice stuff here. How about $4,950 for the sale? I can't imagine why it shouldn't sell for less. It's just a stunner, a fantastic grade, and a centerpiece for a registry set. We do have a couple nickels. Could have gone deeper here as well, but we elected to just choose a couple of these 1930s. How about a 36S? Not particularly a rare date in mid-state. This one, however, is a 67 plus with a CAC sticker, so it's a top tier piece. It's all the way there. And this one sold for $6,215.62. Quite a lovely piece with lots of luster. And a 31S also. This is the second lowest mintage of a Buffalo nickel, right? And this one here is a Mid-State 67. Nice yellowish toning on the obverse, also carried through to the reverse. CAC sticker. This one, there's a lot to love here. I actually own a Mid-State 65. It's not worth nearly as much as this one is. And this one ended up selling for $15,525. Again, another beautiful coin for tonight. And good to see it on a Buffalo Nickel series, which to this point is a testament to the strength of one of the most popular 20th century typesets, is that this one right here. We have a few dimes. No Roosevelts. Okay, we had a few Roosevelts last week. Now we have none. It's kind of hit or miss these days. 1943S, of course, the toning really did a lot to push this one into the stratosphere. Mid-State 68 with full steps. Just an unbelievably clean coin from a strike perspective. PCGS did a good job with this one. And this one ended up selling for $2,662.88. A lot of toner lovers will like this one. And here's the 30AD toning. This one's more marginal than anything else. It's very crusty, but I think it truly lends to the originality of the piece. It's never been dipped or played with, and that's what collectors want. Again, another Mid-State 68 full band specimen that we're looking at here, and this one sold for $2,542.50 tonight. And 1929, this one is quite nice, although not super rare, but at this grade level, you just forget what you learned about grading when it comes to some of these Philly minted Mercury dimes. This one right here, very well struck, Mid-State 67 plus, full bands, few little hints of toning, but predominantly it's a pasty blast white example, CAC certed as well, and a hammer price of $5,317.88. We have a few quarters. Now, this is the only relevant clad. There wasn't too much clad these days making the news. Here's a 1968, one of the top 10 toughest dates for high grades and strike. Usually these 68, 69s type grades, or dates rather, they suffer from just lack of luster. This one's okay. Mid-State 68 is the grade here, and a piece that's a necessity in most registry sets of Washington quarters. This one, $1,327.50. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, only because I believe there is a 68 plus in this particular date. Here's a 41 in a Mid-State 68. This one is gorgeous and a top pop grade. This one here sold for $6,194.25. Again, 68 is pretty much that fine line drawn in the sand for a lot of Washington quarter dates. These, again, were just really good quality coins that were produced back in the early days of U.S. mint production. And if you're able to find an original bank wrap roll of some of these dates, you're probably going to have a field day finding something that would grade above 67. They're just generally, they travel well together, and they present very nicely. Now here's one that we don't talk about that much, nor do we see it that often out there in the world today. A 1934 Washington quarter. No, it's not the famous FS101 double to die that we all know and love. However, how about the heavy motto version? All right, we see a lot of light and medium mottos of the state across the auction block, but we don't see a lot of heavy mottos that grade in a 67 plus. My goodness. CAC certified as well. This is just a stunner with all the original skin and toning on this one. Lots of yellows and pinks and magentas, a little bit of russet brown in there. A very, very nice looker. $5,669.25 for the sale. And I would imagine that something like this will be gone from the market for a long time. There's just not a whole lot of heavy motto, high-grade specimens out there. And the final coin for this week's Monday Market Report, one that is no stranger to the report. It's an accented hair-proof Kennedy. Now, let's understand something here. This is a big coin, and also Mid-State 69, but 68 is no slouch either. So, on this particular piece, for those of you that aren't aware of the accented hair, it's got a few engraving lines in the hair details right above his ear. It also has the missing serif eye in Liberty. So at the very foot of the eye, the bottom left serif of the eye is nearly missing, 100% missing on there. So that's like one of the markers for the accented hair. Always look for that. And yeah, this one right here, what else do we need to say? It's deep cameo, the frost is second to none. And those fields are unbelievably deep and dark. It's like staring into the abyss. They're that crazy. So it's Proof 68. Where are we at on these? I mean, they're still very pricey. This one ended up selling for $8,694. You know, that's like couch cushion money for some of us. Actually, not me. I always tend to pull out a handful of dog hair and navel lint. Not my navel lint, but maybe my daughter's. And a few pennies. So time to upgrade the couch into something a little bit more rich. Then maybe we could afford to get one of these. So that's going to go ahead and wrap things up for the Monday Market Report for the week ending October 29. We are going to be heading into November this week. So you guys really enjoy the hobby. There's a few more shows remaining before we close out 2023. I'm your host, Sean. This video is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice, except for maybe one thing that I said in there. Please collect and grade responsibly. It's a very expensive activity, sport, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes, or most of the time, it can be disastrous. So make sure you be responsible at that. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video and the content if you enjoy things today. And again, I'm also all throughout various other social medias. You guys have a good time. Have a great night. Have a great week. And I'll see you guys on the next coin video. So long.